I am not wearing makeup. Bitgravity.com. Look at the high definition. Bitgravity.com. High definition. High definition. Hi. Hi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Some favorites going out today. The Ronin first, 100 loaded, and now Ashura Khan. Tough day for the favorite alliances. But, you know, let's talk about something else than favorite alliances. Kill 2, I rudely interrupted you with a superbly placed Kanye West reference. Carry on. You were asking Grayscale questions about solve mechanics.
Well, after his introduction, I have a lot of questions, but I'm really curious about the infrastructure improvements specifically, and like, are they going to be something that provokes fighting? Like, are they going to be something vulnerable that people can actually attack and influence? Are they only going to be something that is behind some other mechanism that you'll have to mess with to change solve? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of both. Like, there's going to be some things that you can unlock which are just like essentially a passive upgrade, like you'll have more explorations like sitting in your space, so it's worth more. And there's some things which you're going to unlock, like structures. So for instance, like all the Sinojammer and the jump bridge and stuff will all have infrastructure unlocks, and there's other things we're toying around with to kind of sort of get the defender attacker balance right that we're going to be unlocked through infrastructure. The infrastructure itself will all be in a big cool central structure, which is probably going to be fairly tough, but it will enable a lot of things which themselves can be fight provoking. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then relevant, we've kind of been having an ongoing discussion for the whole weekend, like about how the current solve system, if nothing else, creates this, like you said, this big wall of posses that if not, I mean, there's lots of negative repercussions, but one thing it does is it kind of outlines and create, you know, your space and creates a front line, or like a battlefront, I guess, where fights are going to be, and you can't attack Null without going through all of Bob's space, or at least with the current solve system you can. So are you still going to have something that kind of lets people defend their space and lets people kind of create some sort of front or dictate geographically where fights are happening and stuff like that?
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, so I think it's still gonna evolve on outposts and conquerables for the most part, and like you can kind of, even the current system, you can dive straight into the center. It's just logistically usually a bad idea, because what you want is a staging post on the outside and you want to push the enemy in. That's how the battles usually seem to work out. And we are doing things with the outposts and stuff, obviously separating it from themselves. They have to have their own mechanics. And I guess I can talk about it, because how we're going to do this in devlog at some point. What we're going to do with the outposts in the current plan is a double set of reinforcement timers. This is still one of the bits that we want to tune a bit. We're not quite sure how it's going to work out, and we want to do more stuff around it if we can, but the core is that you have to push it through reinforce on shields and then again on the armor before you can take it, so you give the defender 2 bites of the cherry, because currently there's loads of starbases like 30, 40, 50. It's dunk, 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 which is too long, but we don't just want, ka-chunk or taking your station. That's the end of it. The plan is to have this double step reinforcement. It makes it easier to conquer, but it also makes it easier to take it back. So maybe we'll have less of the current situation where like you take an outpost and then you spam your towers and that's it. The defender basically has lost that system and that's the end of the discussion. By making the fight a little more compact but not too short, the hope is that sometimes you'll have an outpost system can flip hands several times. The other thing we're doing is changing how the reinforcement's going to work on these slightly. Instead of being stront based, which is a little bit weird. We need a reinforcement timer because of time zones, and you don't want, being American Alliance, the Russians come in at 4 a.m. and take all your stuff. That's boring. The current system is actually one of the good bits, I think, of the system, in that it does kind of, when there's going to fight going to be, and it's kind of time zone safe, but this timing and the kiting is all a bit kind of weird. So we're working more on a system where you can as a defender kind of pick like a sort of 12-hour window, 8-hour window, whatever, where it's going to come out. So you're kind of determining that, but it's not just one of those, this 5 minutes, exactly what it is. So it's going to be a little bit more up in the air. And what you hope for when you've got alliances in different time zones is an edge fight on the edge of both time zones, because if it's in one or the other, there's no point deploying. But if you get that fight between Russian and American prime time, right in the middle, then both sides can turn up. That's when you get the good fight. So that's kind of what we're hoping to get more of.
Is that if you pick an area, like if the mechanism allows you to pick an 8-hour frame,
Yeah.
is it then going to be like chance based, or is it going to be?
Randomized? Yeah. I mean,
Oh, wow.
there's
So you got to have people around.
Yeah, I mean, you'll know in advance when it's going to be. It's not going to be like you have to be waiting this whole 8 hours when you put it into reinforce the intent
That's
is
what
at
I thought
least.
you
But you'll know. Yeah, you'll know it's going to come out this time, but you've got less control because you need something like kiting. Otherwise, you get these Russian prime time central, and it's just completely one-sided. But at the same time, if you take kiting out, if you randomize it too much, just no one knows what's going on. So we're trying to strike a balance between those things.
Cool.
Hopefully, and this is like an area of the design that we want to, we're going to keep coming back and poking at because this is kind of, in terms of conquest, this is the centerpiece. The outpost is the thing that matters. So we've got some other ideas up our sleeves. I don't know how they're going to work out. We're still iterating and stuff. Can't talk about it, but yeah, that's where we're at.
Awesome.
Nice. Good stuff. If people had questions about 0.0, they hopefully have less of them now.
Yeah, or more than possible. I don't know.
I have some questions. Some are from the internet, some are from me. And I know that one guy wanted to know what Grayscale did to his elbow. And then I wrote a question about shield tanking versus armor tanking, but I must have been distracted, so I wrote shield tanking versus elbow tanking. which I guess is kind of what you did. You elbow tanked.
Elbow tanking doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, we had the commentators just briefly talk about shield tanking versus armor tanking. Can someone just quickly lay out what's the difference between shield tanking and armor tanking?
Well,
Top bar, middle bar.
What?
Top bar, middle bar.
That's right. Well, yeah, one's displayed above the other.
Okay, well actually let's do that afterwards. We have
All right, let's do it afterwards.
We have Red Overlord versus Brick Squad. This I'm looking forward to. I think Red Overlord have been very good so far. Let's get some quick guesses on it.
I'm again going to root for Red Overlord if nothing else. Both teams are good.
I'm going to pick Brick Squad because then one of us will be right.
Red Overlord.
I'm going to pick Red Overlord as well. After that, we will be back at 1800, and that's going to be exciting. It is going to be Tyrax and his Dystopia Alliance versus Pandemic Legion. That is going to be a superb match. Anyway, let's watch Red Overlord versus Brick Squad.